Good morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming for almost 30 years now, but I still got plenty to work on. Today, I'm working on a spree that I have not played through before. It is called the Blue Devils 2000 Shopping Spree. And in all these practice streams, I like to share the raw, unfiltered, here's what I work on, here's how I practice things. You can find that in this playlist that has over 400 live stream sessions with timestamps in the description to show what I was talking about or what I was practicing. Now, because I've been drumming for so long, and because I have a bachelor's, master's, and PhD in music education, people will often come into these basically practice office hours, and they'll ask some questions about how do I get better as a performer, or how do I get better as an educator, and I will often edit those answers and put them into this drumming tips playlist that has over 100 videos and over 15 hours of free content. Now, the first thing I talk about is the title. So, for example, what are roughs? In number 76, I start talking about what are roughs. And then if it says and other drumming tips or and other teaching tips like this one, that means there are more topics in there that might be of more interest. So if you don't care about roughs, there might be something in there that is of interest. Just check the timestamps in the description of each video, and it'll allow you to see what the topics are. Now, any video, there's over 400 of them, that says members first are scheduled to release for free. So they're not behind like a permanent paywall or anything. So like this one comes out on Friday, this one comes out the following Friday, but there's over 400 of them, so you're going to run into them at some point on my channel's home tab. But it'll come out. It just might be over a year from now. So stay tuned. Now, I need to get motivated to practice from the great sage, Shia LaBeouf. So Shia is here to help motivate me and inspire everybody to clean their flams. Oh, I was late. Let's try it again. Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow, so just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Oh, wow, Shia LaBeouf, everybody's so motivated now. Extra bonus flex. All right, if you go to my channel's home tab on YouTube, or if you go to the link that's at the top of the screen, or at the top of every one of the thousands of free play-alongs, it takes you to here, jaredoleary.com/drum. This has 80 chop exercises, not 82. We'll get there. Inside of here. So these are all playlists. So for example, this one has 29 shopping sprees in it. This one has, I think, 27 chud variations, something like that. I don't know. There's a lot. There's over 1,000 grid variations, 419 for triplet, 577 for 16th note, and 36 wackier ones for like Herta grid or tap only grid, etc. There's more to come, so stay tuned. There's a bunch of timing exercises. I was working on these yesterday with the swung charts, the straight charts, and then the permutations to be able to develop limb independence. Every one of these playlists links to this video, how to develop limb independence on the drum kit. So if you don't know like what are the steps to be able to practice using these resources, this shows you how to do that. There's also almost 500 marching bass exercises. Focus on the timing exercises. Once you get those down, focus on the splits timing. It simulates like practicing on a bass line without having a bass line. You'll see when you actually use it. There's a bunch of drumline cadences here. There's almost 400 technique exercises. Pick a playlist header that looks interesting, like, hey, I want to work on my accent taps, or hey, I want to work on my diddle timing, or hey, I want to work on my 3s and 4 strokes. Whatever you want to work on, I got playlists for you. Spend most of your time working on the technique stuff. The chop stuff is fun, but, you know, this is how you actually get better. A little bit further down, there's over 15 hours of drumming tips and lessons. These are the scripted lessons, like how to hold traditional grip, or the hand routine that I use to stretch and massage, etc. But this playlist has over 15 hours of tips. That's the one that I was showing earlier. So click there and then scroll through the 100+ videos to work on your drumming. Now, I'm working on a shopping spree that just released this morning. It's the Blue Devils 2000 spree. It's right here. The next one that's coming out is in 2 days from now, the 2004 spree, which is also called Sprizzle. 2 days after that is this one. And then there's more. So, you know, there's going to be a bunch more. coming out in the next 3 weeks, I think. Stay tuned. Okay. I need to unmute this. I need to change the resolution so we can actually read it. Okay. Inside of the timestamps of all these thousands of videos, you can jump to whatever BPM you want. So if you want to play this at, I don't know, 107 beats a minute, when you click on it, it'll just immediately tap off. And then you just play along to it. I'm going to warm up, and I'm going to warm up at 40. So we're going to go all the way to the beginning. We're going to play through this a few reps. This is kind of a weird spree, if I'm going to be honest with you. Like, the last line in particular is like, what? Already weird, right? Trixie. Uh-oh. There's an accent on there, but there's not. Well, I gotta fix that. Weird, right? One of the weirder sprees out of all these ones that are coming out. So, what are we saying here? So, this sound is a low. No, it's not an accent. I'm so sorry. This is like the third mistake I found this week on different sprees. Problem with writing too many at once. I make mistakes. Oh no! Interesting that it ends on the left. That left-hand sextuplet there at the end. It's cool. It's a creative spree. It's weird for me, but it's cool. Some interesting phrases. GG's to the people who wrote it. It's a weird rudiment. Oops. I totally botched the ending. I left off one of the releases on there. Whoopsies. Again, I'm not gonna be able to play this at like 170 today. That's for sure. A lot of the other sprees were a lot more straightforward than this one. At least in the last couple weeks of doing this. One more rep, and then we'll stretch and massage, and then we'll start going up a couple clicks at a time. Not going to go up by fives. I'm not going to be able to play this one super fast. It's too weird. Especially since I don't have it memorized. Thank you for the like. Hello, Rhett. Thank you for the other like. How do I stay focused? Oh, I've been doing this for a long time. A lot of it had to do with like the training from being in drum lines. Like when you're playing with like a DCI line, like you gotta be focused. If you look at a lot of the snare drummers, or anyone on drum line really, they are very focused. Yeah, it takes time. It takes practice. So one of the things that you can do is like, just start with faster speeds and then slowly go slower. So the opposite of what I'm doing right now. So you could like start at like, I don't know, 90 and then start going slower, 2 clicks at a time, going through it. But also just like understanding that there's, it is a process and you can develop... the Caleb City stuff. There's a process for like being able to train your attention to make it so that you can like last longer with this. So like there's a piece that I played for my audition to get into the School of Music, the percussion program. It's called Rhythm Song, and it's like, I don't know how many pages long, like 9, 10 pages, something like that. And I'm pretty sure the tempo's like close to 200, like 180, something like that. And when I practice it, I like slowed it all the way down to 40. It took forever just to get one rep through at 40. But I wasn't able to just start there and do that whole like 9 or 10 page marimba solo at 40 beats a minute. I had to gradually work up to that. So it just takes time. So if you just like keep practicing each day, you'll be able to do it. Well, hello. Starting slow for a warm-up is also good. Yeah, I mean, it depends on like what you're going for. But like a lot of people, what they'll end up starting with is they'll start with for drum lines, they'll start with buzzes. Whatever. And then they might go into like buzzes on taps. Now, the reason why they're starting with those buzzes is because those really get the blood flowing on there, and then you get into a more relaxed hand playing where you're just playing like normal, and then you'll add in diddles or flams, etc. And so there's a process that you can go through to warm yourself up when doing that. But yeah, I like to play slow, but sometimes I also just like play triplet diddle and just be like, hey, let's play through it at like from 190 to 200 just to really get the blood flowing on it. And then I'll do the stretch and massage routine. But since I just finished like a few reps of this, like now what I'm going to do is just like go through this routine where I do the stretch and massaging. How do you get faster hand speed? So if you go to my home tab on YouTube, so if you just click on my like profile or whatever, it should take you to the home tab. Maybe it'll take you to the shorts tab. Either way, go to the home tab and then scroll down to the tips and lessons section. There's the drumming tips playlist that has over 15 hours of tips on there that talks about like how to like speed up your hands and whatnot. And then what I'd really recommend doing is taking a look at the technique section. Inside of the technique section is a playlist called Endurance and Speed, and that's got some great stuff for you to work on. So here's the drumming tips playlist. It's got over 15 hours of tips in here. But if you click on technique right above it, then this shows you the playlist. So this one has 61 videos in here for endurance and speed. And those are a variety of stuff that works on different types of endurance and different types of speed. But those specifically focus on speeding up your hand speed. But the TLDR for like a lot of these drumming tips is to practice slow and focus on getting out of the way of your playing in order to be able to like make it so that your hands move more smoothly when you're practicing. Roy, so for your question about like preventing burnout, let's see, it released like 2 weeks ago. So drumming tips number 105. This one has some tips on that. There are some more like further down that talk about it. But if you go to 105, what do you do when you have no motivation to drum? That one, that first part might be helpful. But if you go to later on, so how do you prevent burnout? There's like a section on that. So you can use the timestamps to jump specifically to that. But it's 4 minutes and 16 seconds into it. How to prevent burnout and recover from drumming. So that gives some tips in there, and that can help you out with that. But good question. What was my favorite DCI show year? Oh, I don't know. There's too many good ones. I'm going to stretch the underside of the form, so you could pull back like this. I'm going to do it on the wall. The lower I go, the deeper the stretch. Do you have a favorite show year? Like, I personally prefer lock clips over the actual full shows, but that's just me. I want to be able to hear the snare line, the tenor line, the bass line. I don't want to hear the brass. No offense, brass players. I don't care. Now I'm going to stretch to the top side of the form. You could do it like this. I'm going to do it on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Don't put all your weight into it. Don't rip stuff. That's bad. And the last stretch that I'll do is thumbs here. Hey, I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, there's literally over 2,000 free play-alongs, exercises, and stuff on my channel's home tab. Over 15 hours of tips. If you have questions, you can leave them on like the chats. You can leave them in the comments, etc. You've been using my videos to teach your students how to practice and build their technique. This is your first drum clinic on Saturday with 20 students. That's awesome. GG's. Edwards, that's fantastic. It's yeah, those are big numbers. Ooh. My freshman or sophomore year, my first drum teacher, like I started in 8th grade, so I started way late, but my first drum teacher was like, "Hey, I'm doing this like middle school percussion camp over the summer, like a summer program." And he's like, "Do you want to like come and like be my assistant basically and help teach them?" And that made me like go, "Oh wait, teaching was actually kind of fun. I really enjoyed that." And like that simple little week-long clinic or whatever it was with the middle school percussionist just made me realize, oh, this is a fun career. I'm gonna do that. Now I'm gonna stretch the top side. Or massage, man, I can't brain today. I'm gonna massage the top side of my forearm with the thumb, and then the fingers are massaged on the underside. Yeah, Edwards, that's super cool. I did that first like clinic thing. That was probably in like 2000, so like 25 years ago. And then I started like really getting into teaching my senior year of high school. I had like a private studio of, I don't know, whatever it took to fill up the whole weekend. It was like 20 some odd students, and it was cool. I actually made more teaching privately than I did teaching full time, because you can charge a much higher rate. But then again, like educators are like criminally underpaid. Okay, let's now massage the palm with the thumb, and then the fingers are going to massage the backside of the hand. And then I'm going to do one more quick massage, and then we'll get back into this wacky spree. I'm debating with myself if I want to go up by like 2s or by 3s, or if I want to start with going up by 5s with this and then go into something else. I don't know. Oh, it's like playing that video still. That's funny. Oops. You have more enjoyment teaching than you have marching? Feels more rewarding? Yeah, like seeing that, like that aha moment, that light bulb moment where like students are like, I get it. And then seeing that growth over time, it's very rewarding. But I had a mentor, band director, who was also a percussionist, who was like painting his house. And I was like, oh, that must be really boring. And he's like, actually, it's like a different kind of reward for effort, where you can like immediately see the efforts pay off when you're like putting on a fresh paint of coat and then see the result. Whereas with teaching, it can take months or years before you can see like progress sometimes, like the huge noticeable gains. I thought that was a really interesting perspective. And he had been teaching for, I don't know, at least 20, 30 years at that time. Is the 2000 spree the one with all the cheese inverts and stuff? Yeah, it's a weird one. I'll pull it back up here in a second. I'm massaging base the tip of each one of the fingers real quick. But yeah, it just came out today. There is one sticking mistake. Yikes. I gotta fix it. It's just like a random note that says it's accented, but it's not. But if you go under the home tab here, it's under the chop section. So underneath the shopping spree playlist, it's this one right here. So let me show you the mistake real quick. So this one that has a left-hand accent, it's not an accent. There's no accent there. It just has an accented sticking. So I apologize. But yeah, this one's really, really weird compared to all the other sprees that have been playing the last, I don't know, couple of weeks. Like all of these other like older Blue Devils ones are not like this at all. It's a complete departure from it. It's fascinating to see like the evolution of it over time, especially when you look at like the SCV ones that are coming out. What is it, 91, 92, 93, something like that. So that was when Scott Johnson was teaching out there at Vanguard. He was the caption head before he switched to Blue Devils. And then started doing the shopping sprees with devs. And so like seeing the evolution of it is cool. You're thinking of the first spree that I posted in the playlist? Oh. The 4210 spree? Was it that one? That one's a fun one. I don't know what those are, but they're interesting. Yeah, the 4210 you can do as like a call out, like, hey, what are like the 5 or 6 rudiments we want to play? And then you just have to like do it off memory. It's interesting. Especially when you change the order of things around, when you get the 1s and the 0 patterns, it gets wacky. I forgot the jump. Whoops. good morning to you. All right, so because this is such a weird one, and I'm nowhere close to memorizing this after having played through it only a few times. I think I'm gonna go up by like 2s or 3s instead of going up by 5s. But if I were to like actually wanted to like memorize this and really grind this one out, I just keep going up by 1s. No shame in that. All right, so we just played it at 46, so let's go ahead and do 49. I'll go by 3s while we're slow, and then maybe eventually go by 2s and 1s. So we get to the faster speeds. I guess I can keep this up. Wanted to play that on the right hand, not as an invert. Whoops. Cool. Let's go. Do. 52. Faster than they played it. They played it at 7. Imagine, though. It's like a 10-minute shopping spree. That'll test your concentration. Thanks for the racks. Reacts. I can't speak. This is such a weird spree. I like it. Okay, we were at 52. Sure. 55. You did a live show recently? Nice. That's awesome. What's something you learned? And what's something you loved? Screwed that up. So let's talk about this one. So, this is so weird. So we have like an isolated diddle here, and then we go into like an upbeat like float flam drag, and you expect it to do the same thing off the right, but no, it's an invert right here into a cheese invert. Then we have check. Then we have this like upbeat cheese into cheese with an upbeat here, and then 2 cheese inverts. So it's kind of like its own phrase for up to right here, and then just 2 cheese inverts right here. Then we've got check. We have basically a flam drag, or flam 5. Man, I can't I can't brain today. So we got flam 5, but they're both low, which is interesting, leading into this like right hand flam 5. So this is kind of like a pickup into normal flam 5, but the release, there's no flam here, so no grace note on the check. But then this thing, I don't even know what this is. It's like a Swiss putida, but it's like treated as a 16th note speed, so those are basically diddles. It's weird. Then we go into cha-cha-cha-cha. So this one, it's kind of like a cheesy poof, but like weird, because there's like no accent right here. And then we've got this like herta thing. So we accent a left hand, then we accent the right and the left hand. And then we have this like back to back where you're just going, but you're accenting the second hand that comes in. So the left hand first, and then you do it again off the left, but you're accenting the right hand, which is weird. Then you have a para-para-diddle, and you do that off the left, but you're accenting again the hand that is not the dominant hand. So para-para-diddle, release, which turns into the same rhythm from here. Da, da, ga, da, da. So that 3/2 feel. And then we have an inverted like 5-stroke roll into a shot that then goes into it off the left with a left hand release. Like, it's like, what? It's so hard to like describe this particular exercise because of just how much is constantly changing compared to like all the other the sprees that were before it from the Blue Devils. Even 99 is like not this wacky, or 2000. Like, this gets weird pretty quick. Anyways, okay, so let's see here. Let's go. We just played it at what, 55? Sure, we'll go up to 58. Nope, not 48. Not regressing. Your foot started cramping up during the first song, and you were nervous? Yeah, no, it totally happens to me too. It's like drum set, and you were playing. Sorry, hold on a second. You did it for your birthday. That's awesome. That's fun. Yeah, the performance anxiety is like eventually you can turn that into like excitement as opposed to nerves. But it goes away with time the more you do it. Like the first time I filmed a YouTube video. Oops. Hold on. So I had a YouTube channel that I basically created content for and managed for the nonprofit that I was working for before I started like creating all these free resources. And the first time I filmed the video, it took me like 12 takes just to get the intro. Literally the intro. First time I did it, I was like, this is going to take forever. Because I just had like so much anxiety because I knew that it was going to be used by a lot of students and teachers around the world. Ended up being like millions, which is like super cool. But the first time I sat down to do it, I like froze. And then by the time I filmed like the 500th video, like no exaggeration there, I just was like, all right, I mean, I got this. I'll be fine. I think I just jumped up by 4s. Whoops. Same thing with performing. First time in front of a stadium and whatnot. It's like, ah. And then eventually like, I got this. I've done this before. Felt that way with like presenting at conferences. Just takes time. Just focus on, again, like what did you learn? What did you love about what you did? It'll get better. Over time. You have the whole performance on your channel? That's awesome. Yeah. Sharing that stuff is super interesting. I like these office hours where I'm like showing how I practice. Like it's I'm able to get better and I'm able to help people in the process. But it's also weird because of the like harassment that you'll sometimes get, but you just block them, move on. It's all by people who should be practicing. Why, hello, broccoli. And thank you for the like on the YouTube vertical. Why, hello, buffalo. Okay, we just played at 66. I'm going up by like 3 or 4 at a time right now. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, eventually you'll be able to like look the audience in the eyes while you're playing. Be like, I got this. I'm playing for you. Now, I've actually got a video that might be able to help you with this. Let me see if I can find what number it is. I got too many of them. So if you scroll past all the thousands of play-alongs and go into the drumming tips playlist down here. So this one has a video that's on how to prepare for performance anxiety. Let me see if I can remember what number it was. Too many topics. It's a good problem to have with, people asking so many good questions over all the few hundred streams that we've done. Control F, anxiety. Yeah, this one. So drumming tips number 60, how to prepare for performance anxiety. That one has some tips on like what you can do to like simulate the environment and simulate the stress and the nerves and whatnot, like when performing in front of a crowd. So check out the start of this video. There's like other topics in there, but the start of this one can help you out with that. You remember talking about performing at that baseball game? Oh, the one where the centers. I already gave it away. So the center snare. I didn't say what year it was. The center snare broke live on camera. It was hilarious. He eventually laughed about it, but he didn't find it funny at the time. Like we were at a Diamondbacks game for the baseball, Arizona, and we were performing, the academy was, and we were playing our 60-second warm-up and just like ramming through it. And there's like a cameraman who's like panning across like all of us, like the entire snare line. And you could see us on like all the jumbotrons and whatnot. We're just like, wow, this is kind of cool, like playing through it. And it was like zoomed in on everybody. And right when it got to like the center, he just like totally broke and like stopped playing and just kind of like stared into the camera. Oops. Whoopsies. Okay, we just played it at 69. Let's go to 72. It happens to everybody. I've got a video that talks about that, like all the mistakes I made over the years that were super obvious. I'll look up that video in a second. I forget the name of it. And again, this sticking, I'll fix it. But it's a lowercase, so there's no accent there. You don't hear it as well, but there's no accent. Yeah, so the video that I was thinking of, I talk about some mistakes that I made, mistakes that people have made. Like one of them was like a violinist performing in front of the entire school of music, a solo, and they're the only one on the stage, and they completely forgot their solo. Whoops. Okay. Nope. 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 Don't beat yourself up when it happens to you. Yeah, number 73. So this one talks about some of those stories, like of mistakes I've made, mistakes other people made. So if you're ever like down on yourself, like listen to some of those, because some of those might be like way bigger mistakes than you've made. Like I think I shared in there the one where like it was a domino effect of like people like tripping on each other. I've seen it happen for drums. I've seen it happen for somebody roll out over their bass drum backwards. I've seen entire like sections in a marching band, like the saxophones just eat it on the field. Somebody tripped and then everybody else tripped as well. Like there's all kinds of horror stories that people have experienced. So like you like forgetting a stick in or something like that. You're all right. You're all right. Shake it off. Such a weird rudiment. I wanted to add in an extra note right here. So on the, I wanted it to be an extra note right before that inverted 5-stroke. Whoops, there's not. In case anyone was wondering. All right. Still continuing, going up by like a couple of time. Let me do that again. Okay, yeah. Weird. This is such a unique spree. I keep saying it, but I mean, I'm feeling it. If you're playing along to it, if you're playing this like slower, it's weird, right? It's kind of goofy. Almost screwed up the last measure. Then everyone would have unsubscribed to me. No. Oh, I hear a doggo outside of my door. He ran away. Keep wanting to add in an extra note. Don't do that, Jared. Okay, I won't. Actually, I'll be right back. One second. We're dog sitting. I had to go say hi to the dog. Okay. What are we at? 88, I think? Now he's barking. I want to drum with you. I'm not like fluid with it in terms of like knowing if it's an up stroke, an up down stroke, etc. on this. But once I get it, like this will be a cool phrase at the end. It's just so unique to this spree that like my hands are like, you have not played this before, Jared. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Thanks for your input. Such an interesting little inverted 5-stroke there. What are we at now? It's like 91 or something. 94. Totally whiffed it. Almost. We barely survived. Okay, 97. Dancing helps. Trust me, I'm a doctor. I know what I'm talking about. Whenever I make those jokes about, like, trust me, I'm a doctor and whatnot, I'll sometimes get some really unkind people who'll be like, you don't have a doctorate. I mean, I do. Doesn't mean I can't make a joke about it. No. I can't see the bottom line. All right, let's try it again. Thank you for the love. No. So weird. It's so weird. So if I were to actually work this one up, I'd just definitely go one click at a time. This is kind of like a preview day just for funsies. Because why not? Each one of these sprees that keeps releasing every other day, I'm just kind of going through it to just basically give you a preview of here's what it sounds like. So you can figure out if you want to work it up. I have no clue what these are called. The Swiss put-it-a thing? It's so weird. Never played them before. That was like 106. 109. I think we're nearing my mental limit. Where I can read it. Because I definitely don't have this memorized. This one's too weird. Okay, so let me show you where you can find this particular one. So if you go into my home tab of YouTube, there's currently 80 chop exercises on here, but it's inside of the shopping spree playlist. And like the vast majority of these will all be available within the next 3 weeks, I think is when most of them are coming out. So like all of these are currently available, but the ones that say members first are coming out soon. So like this one comes out in 2 days. This one comes out 2 days after that. So like here's a preview of this one. So this is 2004 spree, also known as the Sprizzle spree. So in 2 days, the plan is to go through this, but we got family over, so we'll see. I might not do a stream on Friday. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyways, yeah. So next time I do a pad stream, then I'll go through this one. And then the time after that, we'll go through the next one, which is the Blue Knights 2011 shopping spree. So this one is interesting. There's a lot of really cool phrases on a lot of these sprees coming up. So stay tuned for these to come out. But there's over 2,000 exercises that are currently available. So if you go down to the home tab, we got the chop stuff. This is where I was practicing today. We've got over 1,000 grid variations here. You have to click to show all of the different playlists for this one. YouTube only shows 12 of the playlists, but there's more than that. The limb independent stuff, assuming I'm on tomorrow to practice, I'll be practicing some wacky limb independent stuff that I was working on yesterday, and I can't even play like the first line of one of them because it's so hard. Stay tuned. There's also almost 500 marching bass stuff. I'd highly recommend focusing on these timing exercises right here. And then once you get these down, then focus on the splits timing. This allows you to simulate being on the bass line without being on the bass line. And they're more intermediate and advanced stuff than like the timing stuff. So if you're new to bass, focus on the timing stuff while marking time. There's some drumline cadences. There's almost 400 technique exercises. Just like the grid variations, you have to click to show all of these playlists. So if you like don't see the 16th note or triplet diddle playlist here, well, you got to click on the header to show all of them to get to them. And then there's over 15 hours of drumming tips inside of here. There's some scripted drumming lessons, and there's over 400 live streams where you can see myself practicing, answering questions, etc. I include timestamps in the descriptions of all of these videos to show what I'm talking about or what I was practicing or to jump to a specific BPM. And then if you go to the first link that's at the top of each one of the videos, like this one that I mentioned earlier. Thousands of hours of free drum. Thanks. And the first link, the one that takes you to jaredleary.com/drum, it takes you to here, and this is where you've got everything organized neater than I can on YouTube. So this is where I'd recommend you go if you're interested in not being overwhelmed with all the resources on YouTube. But I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna go try and fix that sticking on the shopping spree, and then while it's like working on that in the background on my computer, I will start Dishonored 2. I forget how far we're into it, probably about halfway through the game. And that'll probably be 30, 45 minutes. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in it. But otherwise, if you enjoy these resources, just share it with somebody else. And as always, if you don't enjoy these resources, then share them with an enemy. But I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.